Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Well, tomorrow is World Book Day, and that will be the 7th of March 2024. And World Book Day usually takes place on the first Thursday of every March of every year. And it's a day when we try to encourage children and everyone else to get into reading and to enjoy a good book. Now, this year they're using a character called MC Grammar. This is a fake character that's been created for kids. Now, they're using him to promote book reading. He basically is very similar to MC Hammer, the rap artist. But MC Grammar's focus, of course, is on grammar. So he's rapping with good words. He's also rapping out books rather than reading them. And he's trying to get kids to be literate. Literacy rates in the UK have dropped a little bit, so people are really keen to try and help people with literacy. Yeah, it's very sad. Even around where I live, I'm aware there are some people who can't read or write, which for British people and for someone of my age sounds astonishing, but yeah, it's very common. Well, not common, but there are people around who simply can't, and those people usually hide it very well. But as a teacher, it's quite easy to spot, quite easy to see when someone can't read or write because they use all kinds of other ways to avoid reading and writing. Anyway, World Book Day is all about trying to get kids to be literate. And this day has been around since 1922. It was first celebrated on the date of the death of Miguel Cervantes, who was a famous Spanish writer, and it was first proposed by another Spanish author called Vicente Clavel Andres. The first day that it was ever celebrated was on the birthday of Miguel Cervantes in 1926. It was in 1995 when UNESCO took this day and made it a big official day. They also moved the day to the first Thursday in March. And they did that because it clashed with Easter. Now, when two dates come together, they clash. If your friend invites you to a party this Thursday, you could say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't come. That clashes. That clashes with my mother's birthday." If two enemies are fighting, they're clashing. There's wars going on around the world right now where different countries are clashing. So, World Book Day today, their main character and ambassador is MC Grammar, which is a parody by an actor where he's dressed up to look like MC Hammer. Now, this is quite a big day for the royals because they are patrons of some of our organizations which promote reading, like the Book Trust, for example. Our Queen Camilla, She is a patron of the Book Trust. And last year, she sat down with a famous author and she started talking about her love of books. And she was saying that how reading to her grandchildren was a great bonding experience, which helped them to become book enthusiasts. If you're enthusiastic about books, then you're called a bookworm. Oh, I was a real bookworm when I was a little boy. I loved reading. The days before the internet, you could escape with books. You know, you could disappear into a nice book. So a bookworm is a book enthusiast. So she's saying that she liked to read to her grandchildren. Yeah, my grandparents used to read to me as well. I mean, they were so boring, though. I have to say that my grandparents, I think, could put anyone to sleep because their choice of books wasn't particularly interesting. But Queen Camilla tells us that she loved to read to her children and her grandchildren. I can't imagine royals reading to anyone, but yeah, apparently they do. Um, and she says that her favorite book, this is Camilla, our queen, she was being interviewed in Clarence House Library last year, and she was saying her favorite book was Black Beauty. Yeah, that's a very nice book. I think there's more than one of them, Black Beauty. It's about a big black horse. And she was saying she loved horses, but of course, a royal family all love horses, don't they? In British English, when we talk about the royals, we often joke and say, oh, they're very horsey, horsey. They're the kind of people that would have no trouble getting on the back of a horse very easily. You know, they're big, kind of strong people. Um, yes. She says in the interview that took place last year, she says, I do love reading. And she says she was reflecting on her favorite childhood book. And she says in the end, she has to confess that it is actually Black Beauty. Yeah, she goes on to talk about that. And oh, I see Princess Catherine is back after surgery. She has her first official engagement. That's just popped up on this same page as Camilla's interview from last year. I haven't heard anyone saying that Camilla will be doing a book interview tomorrow, but I'm sure she will be. I'm sure that tomorrow she'll also be promoting World Book Day. Depending on where you are in the world, it might already be World Book Day because in the Pacific, I think they're around 10 hours ahead of us, so it could already be the 7th. I remember Black Beauty, there was a TV show, it was great. I think gals were more into Black Beauty than men were, but still very nice TV show. I had a very interesting theme tune, as I recall. Yeah, so the date clashed with Easter when World Book Day was on April 23rd, so they moved it to the first Thursday. Talking about World Book Day, yeah, I was watching Arabic TV a few days ago, and when I was watching Arabic TV, I noticed that there was a big book fair in Muscat in Oman. Very, very big, lots of kids there, books from all over the world. I was really surprised because they had books all stacked up. Here, we try to avoid those things now because we're taught that paper is bad and that ebooks are better for the environment. So I was quite shocked to see a whole exhibition center with dozens upon dozens of books. Well, probably it would be better to say hundreds upon hundreds of books. It was very interesting, very interesting. Yeah, getting back to this character, MC Grammer, if you do like rap music, um, this was the creation of someone called Jacob Mitchell, and he became very famous in 2019 after rapping about the children's book, The Gruffalo. He says he struggled in school, and books were his big escape. Yeah, for all of us, I think, before the days of the internet came, especially. Um, he's saying that there has to be more excitement in the classroom, and music and books go together in a really cool combination, is what he's saying here. So very nice, very nice. Um, there's some book recommendations from the British Book Trust. One is called The Black Hole Cinema Club, about a boy called Lucas and his friends who go to the cinema. It's kind of like a detective novel. Another one is about The Longest Night of Charlie Noon, which is about a little boy lost in a forest. A short and very powerful novel, that one. I think that one's by Christopher Edge. Yes. And there's also one called, I think it's Below Zero, when a family moved to the Antarctic. It's a horror. I didn't know that you could get horror books for kids. Doesn't sound the best, does it? But anyway, The Longest Night of Charlie Noon was by Christopher Edge. Below Zero is by Dan Smith. And The Black Hole Cinema Club is by Christopher Edge. So these are amongst the most popular ones for kids. So a horror thriller, though, that doesn't sound right, does it, for children? So be careful if you were thinking of getting that for your child. These books are for older teenagers, I think. So you might enjoy those. And there we are. For me, I think my favorite books when I was a kid probably were The Famous Five by Enid Blyton. It was a group of kids who were um, always playing together and solving crimes. I also liked The Secret Seven, also by Enid Blyton. It's a very, very nice author for children. But these books were much older than I am. I mean, they came from the 1930s and 40s. So they didn't really sound very up to date. More up to date books, or books which appeared at least to be more up to date, were The Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew. These were American detective novels. I rather preferred those because they somehow seemed modern. I mean, they were written around the same time as The Secret Seven and Famous Five, but because they were American, they didn't have that cold British Empire style of writing. So they're very good as well if you're looking to get some books. Whatever you're doing for World Book Day, I hope that you enjoy it. This is actually part of something larger called National Reading Month. If you like a royal family, do have a look on the internet for Queen Camilla tomorrow, because I'm sure she'll be doing something. She'll be getting interviewed about books, or she'll be doing something, because she's usually celebrating this day by talking about her favorite books, or she's being interviewed by an author. So enjoy World Book Day, and if you can, do please try to consider encouraging your children to read. It's very hard, isn't it, to find time and space for reading these days. I know that I keep saying, oh, I want to pick up some paper books and read more, but I'm reading a lot online, so I suppose it's the same thing, but I do miss fiction. So I must try to get back into that. That's it from me for today. I hope you've enjoyed this and enjoy World Book Day, whatever you're doing. See you. Bye.